What up, what up, what up? It's your boy D back at you with another video. And today we are doing predictions for WWE's Evolution pay-per-view. Now, this pay-per-view is going down January 13th with a bunch of other events that are going on that weekend. Obviously, All In, I believe, is July 12th. Don't quote me on that. But then also Saturday night's main event is July 12th. And NXT Great American Bash, I believe, is also that weekend as well. So we got a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie to you. We got a lot going on that weekend. But to me, as a WWE fan, one of the most important things is the Evolution, because it gets to shine a light on our Divas division. I love that. I hope that after Money in the Bank, they can finally sit down and start to tell us some stories that can get us to Evolution that will make us care. So this card was very difficult because having it the same week of the NXT Great American Bash card pissed me off, because now I gotta think about how do we get NXT talent on this card as well? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we gotta do some maneuvering. So I did my best, and I pretty much took away all NXT talent because of Great American Bash. So I wanted to put JC Jane on this list so bad because I wanted her to get her shine, and like, as she is now our current NXT champion. But unfortunately, obviously with NXT Great American Bash going down that weekend, I wasn't able to get her on there. But I know that she's going to be able to do her thing. And knowing her, she'll probably retain, or she'll probably fight Fallon Henley for the title anyway. So without further ado, here is my WWE Evolution card. And here we go. All right, so the first matchup on my list we have is Lay Cool versus the Secret Hervis. I don't care what nobody says. This match, any type of storyline build to this would be funny as shit, okay? I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do the normal. I could have put Trish Stratus, Mickie James, Lita versus the Judgment Day girls. Obviously, I could have did that. But I thought about it as I sat here and thought about it. I said, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's do something that I genuinely think would be funny as hell, great comedy, and something probably nobody else thought of. Lay Cool versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven and Alpha Fire, the Secret Hervis. I think that would be phenomenal TV. And also, because Zelina Vega is feuding with them, you can put Zelina Vega with Lay Cool. Why not? Make it a 6-man tag. I truly feel this would be so dope, especially with Lay Cool actually kind of being ahead of its time. It really was. Like, Lay Cool, the way Michelle McCool actually wrestled, she was way ahead of her time. She was better than most of the ladies she was wrestling at that time, because WWE didn't give a fuck about women's wrestling at that time, as we were still currently in the Divas era. So I would think Lay Cool versus the Secret Hervis at Evolution would be such a fun match that I would truly adore. So shout out to Lay Cool, man. I hope, man, they need to get their flowers more, because they absolutely deserve it. Next matchup on the list I have is actually another tag team match. We have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Naomi and Nia Jax. I feel this tag match is only a matter of time. Only a matter of time going to happen. And I think, why not have it on Evolution? So you're not giving away Bianca versus Naomi, because that's going to be a big match. It's probably going to happen at either Money in the Bank or either Money in the Bank or Queen of the Ring. King and Queen of the Ring. It's bound to happen. We know it's bound to happen. So I think it would be very cool and very interesting that if this was the case, that you have you have that tension between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. You still have that tension with Naomi, and if Bianca was a part of this or not, of the attack on Jade. You can kind of mix that in with two badass heels like Naomi and Nia Jax, with them both being family. So then, like, I just think you can tell an interesting story with that. And I think it would be very cool to tell that story. So I would really like to see this match at Evolution, and it shines light without also giving away a big angle before SummerSlam. So, in my opinion, I think this would be the best way to do it, and just have them have this tag match and just have them battle it out. So, that's who I have for this. Next matchup on the card I have is a 20 women battle royal, and the winner of this match gets to challenge whichever champion. So, basically, King and Queen of the Ring, the winner of Queen of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring, they get to challenge the champion of their respective brands at SummerSlam. So, whoever wins that will challenge whoever, and whoever wins this will challenge the other person, if that makes sense. So, who I have winning this Battle Royal, I have Stephanie Vaquer. I truly think if Stephanie Vaquer goes to the main roster, Stephanie Vaquer will be fighting for somebody's title. And hell, she may fuck around and take somebody's title. Stephanie Vaquer is like that. She is a dog in that wrestling ring. I feel like the moment they truly decide to put Stephanie Vaquer on the main roster, she's going to be swimming with sharks, and we're going to find out that she swims very well very soon. I mean, look at Julia. Julia was bad just in the ring, and she was thrown down in that triple threat match with, I believe it was Zelina, Charlotte, and Julia. And Julia was in there, and she looked normal. She looked like she belonged in there. She was getting busy. So these women ain't playing who are on the come up. And I just feel like their ascension and their heights are only going to climb from here. So I'm going to pick Stephanie Vaquer to win this 20 women battle royal. Next match on the list, we have Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the women's world title one-on-one in some type of stipulation. What stipulation is? Oh no. I think it'd be an interesting match. I still have Io Sky winning. I think Io Sky at least walks into SummerSlam with the title, and then maybe she'll lose it to somebody. But at least I have Io walking in and walking out, beating mommy for that women's world title. Because I don't pick Rhea Ripley to win the Money in the Bank either. I just don't see it. Next match on the list, we have Becky Lynch, who will be your Intercontinental Champion, versus Lyra Valkyria in a steel cage. I think this match is going to be a very fun match. I think this match is going to be very exciting and very dangerous. And I think it's going to be a very fun, exciting match that's kind of also going to resemble like that last woman standing match they had at the previous Evolution between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. But I do have Becky being the heel, sneaking out, retaining her title, and to a humongous pop as Bayley will return. I think it would be fire if Bayley was able to return. I just think it would be a very cool moment. I just think it would be very dope for Bayley to come back, and then you can maybe do Becky versus Bayley at SummerSlam. I think it would be an entertaining match. I feel like that's the way they're going with it anyway. So I'm going to pick Becky to beat Lyra, and Bayley will return. Next matchup on the list, we have Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title. I have Tiffany Stratton winning this match. I do see Alexa Bliss eventually joining the Wyatt Six. Do I want maybe this is my hot take. Do I want Alexa Bliss to join the Wyatt Six? No, I do not. I may be the only one. And I may die on this hill. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. We don't want to see this Bray Wyatt, may he rest in peace, version of Alexa Bliss. Streets don't want that. We want that 2017 goddess Alexa Bliss. We want that Alexa Bliss who was just frying people up on the mic and was owning the division. When you talk about Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky, the four horsewomen, people sleep on Alexa Bliss. Back then, Alexa Bliss was getting busy. We need that goddess version of Alexa Bliss back. This version with Lily and the Wyatt Six, it was cool. We don't need that no more. Not in this era. We don't need that no more. We need desperately Alexa Bliss to return.
Not quite sure how to help you with that.
See? Even she agrees. We need Ms. Bliss to go back to being the goddess herself. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It'd be fire. That's all I'm saying. Tiffany Stratton will win this match, and Tiffany Stratton will be defending her title at SummerSlam. Against who? We don't know. Could be Charlotte, could be Julia, could be Jade. Hell, it could be Bianca. I have no idea who. I have no idea. But after this, I do see if there's going to be a return at Evolution, and if we're going to do something that's big, something that would be huge for the division, I have to ask, how would you guys feel? What are the chances if Paige made her return back to WWE? What if Paige came home to the E? How would you feel about that? Because honestly, when you look at what she did in I feel like she made a lot of friends there. She was cool with a lot of people. But as her matches, I know she won the title. I don't think I just feel like they didn't have enough for her storyline wise, character wise. I just don't feel like it meshed very well for her there. But I do feel like she would do so much better over here with these women. Like, Paige is one of the youngest. Like, when Paige retired, I wouldn't have been surprised if they put her in the Hall of Fame. Paige is a dog. Paige was a dog, and I feel like it would reawake that hunger in her if she was wrestling in WWE. It's just different, man. It's really just different. And I feel like with this crop of talent, I feel like, and with all her friends like Natty and Naya and Naomi, I just feel like she would have a ball wrestling in WWE, especially under Triple H's creative, which brings her all the way back to her original days in NXT when it was Triple H's creative who made her a star in the fucking first place. So I pick Paige to return to the WWE. Now, if anybody else got some news about Mariah May's contract expiring, let me know on that, because I need to know what's going on with that too. Please let me know about that. And finally, the last match on the list, honestly, I didn't have anything else. I have nothing else. But Charlotte Flair had to make her way on this card. Okay, you feel me? Charlotte Flair damn sure was going to get on this card. And for that, instead of picking her versus Tiffany Stratton again, I didn't want to upset the internet. I picked Charlotte Flair versus Julia. I feel like Charlotte Flair versus Julia would be a really good match for this Evolution card, and I think it would be a very competitive, a very good match that Charlotte Flair could shine a light on Julia and get the future of this business over. When you really think about it, the future of this women's division is really going to be Roxanne Perez, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and the rest of the NXT women's division. Oh, of course, and Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green as well. I feel like for Charlotte Flair and Becky and Bayley, they have become the veterans, especially Natalya. They have all became the veterans in their locker room. They've been doing this for the longest. So, with that being said, I feel like the best thing they could do is to continue to help to push this women's division into the future. And I do feel like the evolution of women's wrestling has transcended so further than what it used to be. And I'm proud for that, and I'm happy for that. We need, and if there's anything I hope from this evolution that's going to happen in July to the next evolution whenever it happens down the line. My dreams, my wishes, my hopes is that we get real and better storylines and promo time for women. Match time, I think we're getting there. It is very normal to see women main event Monday Night Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views and shit like that. We've seen it before. Can we make it more frequently? Yes. But my thing is, for these things to happen, for them to make sure that women are in bigger spotlights and bigger main events, it's all about story. It's all about promos. Like, I want to see more women have more time with promos and storyline and character work. That's what I want to see. I want to see something like the Bloodline story in the women's division. Tell me that story. Yes. Can the women wrestle their ass off? Yes. But the difference between the men's side, the men and the women really is promo time and character. And that's just because obviously you can obviously tell WWE puts more resources and more assets into the men than the women. So I just feel like if we gave that to the women also, WWE will be at its highest. It'll be higher than they were at WrestleMania 40. Because if you have the men clicking on cylinders and you got bosses, goats, and dogs in the men's division. Now, if you add that type of care, that type of thinking into the women's division, it would work wonders. And I've said it before on this channel, and I've said it and I'll say it again. One of the perfect people who could change and transcend this women's division, who could elevate this women's division, is Paul Heyman. If Paul Heyman took on a client and became the wise man for a Paul Heyman girl, he would be able to provide the legitimacy that women's division needs. I promise you. Believe me, if you look at this whole, Paul Heyman has made superstars. Made them. I'm a Brock Lesnar fan till I die. Paul Heyman made me a Brock Lesnar fan. Easy. For me personally, the Tribal Chief doesn't even exist without the stamp of approval from Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the reason for CM Punk. Paul Heyman is the reason for the Dudleys. Paul Heyman is the reason for RVD. Paul Heyman is the reason for Taz. All of ECW, the Sandman, rest in peace, Sabu. Paul Heyman has made superstars out of people. We don't get that real version of Stone Cold if it wasn't for ECW. I'm just saying, if Paul Heyman took his worth of knowledge and his assets and everything he did, and you put Paul Heyman next to any women in NXT or on the main roster, boom, the legitimacy of that women's division goes skyrocket up. And before we get out of here, let me ask you guys, YouTube, TikTok, everybody, let me ask you guys one question. If you could pick one women's wrestler in WWE from Evolve, LFG, NXT to the main roster, if you could pick one wrestler, one women's wrestler to become a Paul Heyman girl, who would it be? Let me know. Because I think, he would do damage with so many people. He would do damage, in my opinion, with Charlotte Flair. He would do damage with somebody like Bailey Humphrey. Hell, he would do damage with a Tyra May Steel, Zarya. There are so many different women he would do numbers with. So let me know who you guys think would be a great Paul Heyman girl. But all in all, I'm looking forward to Evolution 2. I can't wait to see this pay-per-view. I hope you guys are excited. We will be back talking more about this card once it starts to creep up to that time. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It has been your boy D, Forever Gang, and until forever finds you.